Move, move, go, shoot. Hi everyone, so I'm going to do another flex video. It's going to be about an hour long, and the way I'm going to do this one is I'm going to do upper body for the first half and then move on and do some lower body stretches. So if you just wanted, if you've just got half an hour and you just want to stretch your back and shoulders, then watch the first half of the video. If you just want to do your legs, watch the second half, or watch the whole thing for a whole hour-long workout. So unfortunately I can't play any music because of copyright, so you have to put your own music on. But let's get started. So we're going to start with the head, looking over our shoulder from side to side. And rolling forward semicircles. Okay, and then when we get to one side, we're going to twist our head and look up at the ceiling. So you should feel this more, but down your neck. And coming back to the other side, twist and look up. And back to the other side. This time we're going to twist and look down towards our shoulder. And back to the other side, twist and look down to the shoulder. Okay, great. And then tucking our chin to our chest and just looking up to the ceiling. Okay. Well done. So we're going to start with shoulder rolls coming up onto your toes, because that's going to make it a little bit harder. Get nice and warm. Add the elbows. And add your arms. And coming back the other way. Up. Keep going. Careful you're not going to hit anything. Back to elbows. And back to shoulders. Great, okay, and then we're going to open out the chest. So we're going to open horizontally. So you're going to push your chest forward. Feel it opening up across here. And then diagonally. Okay, and now we're going to have our hands up in the sky and we're going to reach up to the ceiling and walk through our toes. Now when we're doing this, we're not like bending our elbows, we're trying to stretch from our shoulders. So we're going to reach and keep our arms straight. So it's stretching from your shoulder. Okay, and then we're going to hold one hand in front of the other and pulse backwards, like so. And then we're going to lean down to one side. We're going to twist and have a flat back, so we're reaching across. Then we're going to interlace our fingers and push down towards our toes. And coming back up to standing, switch whichever hand you had in front last time and pulse back with the other one. And leaning down to one side and twisting, so we've got a flat back and reaching forwards to the side. And then interlacing our fingers, pushing down towards the floor by that leg. Okay, and staying down here, we're going to come into our windmill. So we're going to reach our opposite hand to feet. Speed it up, make sure you're really getting the blood pumping. And slow it back down again. Okay, and stopping in the middle, we're going to do some pancake taps. So we're tapping forwards, middle, and back. So forwards, middle, behind. Middle, behind, forwards, middle, behind. Sorry about my squeaky floor. Okay, last two. One more. I think that was three. Oops. Okay, and then inhaling as we bend our knees, and then exhaling as we straighten them again. Just take that off. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale and bend our knees. And then as we exhale through our mouth, we're going to just straighten our legs, trying to get a little bit lower each time. So we'll do 5 more of these. So inhale and bend. Exhale, straighten. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Okay, and then just soften your knees and roll back up slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. Lovely. Okay, we're going to now come to the end of our mat, and once again we're going to roll down and we're going to come into our downward dog. So dropping the head, rolling down. And first of all, we're just going to hold onto our legs or our ankles and just give ourselves a little pull towards them to deepen that stretch down the backs of your legs. And then we're going to walk our hands forward and come into downward dog. So from here, we're going to walk through our feet. So really trying to push our heels into the floor. And also thinking about pushing your chest down towards the floor as well. Okay, now we're going to bring a knee into the chest and we're going to kick up behind. So we'll do that for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Okay, and then coming down onto our hands and knees. We should be feeling quite warm now. If you're not feeling warm for any reason, run on the spot or something, because I'm quite warm. Okay, so onto our hands and knees. We're just going to start by doing some circles with our hips. So we're just going to circle our hips like so. Okay, and then you can kind of add your shoulders and your head. If you want to, just get that whole body loosening up. And change direction. So if you want to just start with your hips and then add your shoulders. Can't really do it this way around. Just really loosening up. My head's going the wrong way. Okay. Okay. Well done. And then we're just going to keep a nice strong shape and we're going to come into the cat-cow stretch. So we're going to inhale, and as we inhale we're going to arch our back upwards And then as we exhale, we're going to curl up. So inhaling through our nose and then exhaling through our mouth. So we'll do a few of these. So inhale and exhale. And inhale. We'll do 5 more of these. I'll let you do them in your own time. So 5 more inhales and exhales. Two more. Last one. Well done, lovely. Okay, so from here, we're going to come down onto our mats, and I'm just going to put in a little back sort of dynamic stretch, which I did yesterday on my conditioning as well. It's a bit of a killer, but really good. So, got this way back actually, so you see. So we're going to lie on our stomach with our arms and legs out in front and behind us, and we're going to lift up for 10, and on the 10th one we're just going to hold it there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Okay, staying here, we're going to do a little shoulder stretch. So we're going to start with one arm out to the side like this, with our palm facing down and the other hand just wherever's comfortable. We're going to lift the opposite leg to the arm, and we're just going to roll over to that side. Try and keep your foot off the ground, because that'll make the stretch deeper. If you're just resting here, you're not working your muscles so much. And come back to the middle, and then switch sides. So palm facing down, arm straight out to the side, lifting the opposite leg, and then just rolling over to that side. Again, just trying to keep that toe off the ground will make the stretch a bit better. And coming back to the middle. Okay, we're going to do the same again. This time our palm is going to be facing up to the ceiling. So lifting up, it's a great downward dog scampi, and over. And coming back to the middle, switching arms around, other side, palm facing up, lifting the opposite leg and rolling over towards that arm. Okay, coming back to the middle, we're doing one last one. This time the variation is having our arm bent at 90 degrees with our palm facing down like so. Okay, so lifting up with the opposite leg, rolling over, trying to keep that foot off the floor. coming back to the middle, and then just switching your arms around, so getting the other side, opposite leg up and twisting. And coming back to the middle. Okay, from here, we're just going to go into a couple of little cobra stretches. So we'll just do the one sort of full cobra. So we're going to have our hands underneath our shoulders. And when we push up into this, there are several things we need to think about. We want to think about elongating our spine. So rather than just sort of crunching up, we want to try and like pull ourselves forward to come up. Once you're up, you want to make sure your bum cheeks are relaxed and that your shoulders or your head is nice and pushed away from your shoulders, so they're not hunched up by your ears, but you're nice and long. So from here, pulling forward to try and elongate that spine and pushing up into the cobra. Once we're here, just make sure everything's relaxed. You can tip your head back, make sure that you're not like this, but you're nice and long. And just always remember to breathe. And coming back down and relaxing. Okay, we'll go up and do that one once more. Yeah, so same points as before, elongating the spine, everything's nice and relaxed, and sort of trying to go one vertebra at a time up as we go up. So when we're ready, pulling forward and then pushing up through the arms to come up. If you want to shuffle your hands in a little bit once you're here, you can. Just make sure that you're not bringing your hips up, that your hips are staying and the curvature is coming from your spine. And coming back down nice and slowly, last thing being the head to drop down. Okay, coming back up onto our knees, we're going to come back into a nice child's pose, so sitting back on our heels, and then from here just walking our hands forward to feel our spine sort of neutralising and going the other way. Okay, from here we're going to take our left arm and we're going to feed it through the gap under our right, sort of sniff our right armpit sort of thing. Nice image. And then switching sides. So feeding the right arm through the gap under the left. And coming back up onto our knees. Okay. Okay, so the next stretch is a really good back one. So we're going to be sort of leaning back, and I'll give you two different we're going to do 3 hand variations. We're going to try and reach our heels or our legs. If you can't reach your heels by bending back this way, then just put your hands on the small of your back here and push your hips forward that way. But if you can reach your heels, then do. We want to push our hips really far forward, so we're not kind of coming back like this. We want our hips to stay kind of above our knees or even a bit further forward. So really pushing them forwards. And then we're just going to find our heels or small of our back. And we're going to push our chest and hips forward, so we're getting this nice curve here, hips nice and forward, and really push open across your chest. And yeah, so holding that one, and then tilt your head back. Okay, and then we're just going to lift one arm, so keeping one on our heel, lift the other one and hang it behind you. Remembering our breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, then we're going to switch our arms. So the arm that you just had raised, put that back on your heel, and then lift the other one up over your head. Okay, and then bringing that arm back down, coming back up, and sitting back down on our heels. And then we're just going to come back into our child's pose, and then we'll go up and do that one again in a minute, but with a different arm variation. Okay, coming out of the child's pose, back up onto our knees. This time we're going to try and have our arms crossed across our chest. So pushing the hips forward. If you want to start with your hands on your heels, then that's fine, and then you can just lift your hands up one by one, or you can just go from the beginning with your arms crossed over your chest. If you're not finding that, if you're not comfortable with that, just stick to keeping your arms down. But if you want to make it a little bit harder, then give this one a go. So arms crossed over our chest, hips forward, and then we're just going to lean back. If we take a deep inhale first, and as we exhale, that's when we're going to go back. So, and exhale. If you want to make it even harder, you can put your hands above your head. And coming back up. Carefully, very carefully, sitting back down. And now we can either go into child's pose again, or if you want a deeper neutralizing stretch, we can lie down onto our back, pick our toes up, we can use our hands for support, and we're going to aim our toes towards the floor behind our head. So this is a really nice neutralizing stretch. If you're quite comfortably getting your toes on the floor, you can think about trying to bend your knees and getting them on the floor too. Just don't overdo it. Be careful of the top of your spine. and coming back down. Okay, grab a drink, and I'm just going to double check what the time is. Okay, so I'll just do a couple of more back stretches and then we will move on to our lower body. So gonna go now. If you've got a wall, I don't really have much flat space here, I'll do it against the door. So this stretch is, we will have done this one in class if you've been to classes at all. It's really uncomfortable, but very effective. So I'm gonna put actually the phone here so that you can see what I'm doing. Move it down a bit. Okay, so the first one, this is going to be a shoulder stretch. So we want to stand a couple of feet away from the wall. We're going to bring our shoulders, our hands up onto the wall, sort of just above face height, nice and wide. Then we can even take a little step back, and then we're just going to push our chest down towards the floor, and this is really going to stretch our shoulders. And you can see my hand slid down a bit there, that's fine. So you want your feet to be kind of under your hips, so you're not like this, but you're kind of here, and you're pushing your chest, so you're also getting a curl in your spine. Really push your chest towards the wall. You'll feel it sort of in here, in your shoulders. I hate this stretch, but it's a really good one. And coming back out, give your arms a bit of a shake. The next one is even worse, but it is really effective. I don't know why, I mean, it's not much different really to the puppy pose that we do on the floor, but for some reason against the wall it's really a lot more painful. I'm just going to move this. So for this one, we want to step much closer to the wall. So we want to be about a foot away from the wall. So we're really, really close. Feet are going to be about hip width apart. This time we're going to bring our arms up nice and high, and we're going to put our chest against the wall. We're going to look up, and then we're going to just sink down, trying to keep our chest touching the wall as far as you can go. So remember to keep your feet under your hips as well. So yeah, sinking down. And come back out of that one. Shake your arms out, and we're going to do those again. But first of all, if we just roll down, just to neutralise it, just hold on to your elbows and just hang like this, just to neutralise that stretch. I don't know if you could actually see my feet in that. No. So what I'll do is I'll come a little bit closer, and then you can see my feet as well, if that's not going to fall. So yeah, just hanging, neutralising that stretch, and soften the knees and roll back up, and we'll go again. So you couldn't really see my feet before, I don't think. So for the first stretch, our feet are going to be about this far away from the wall, so sort of a couple of 3 feet or so, 2 feet maybe. Hands are going to come up nice and high, so keeping our feet under our hips so that we're not sort of like this. We're going to just drop down and push our chest towards the wall. So they're similar stretches, but this one targets the shoulders a bit more. The other one gets your back a bit more. So you can look up as well. You can also do this one against a chair if you don't have the wall space. I'll show you against a chair. So similar thing, obviously we're going to be coming much lower, so just dropping your head down. You can have your legs much wider if you're doing it against a chair. Yeah. So yeah, like this. So the important thing with this one, whether you're against the wall or the chair, is to really think about pushing your chest down or towards the wall to get those shoulders stretching. And coming back out of that one, take a step closer to the wall. This one you can't really do with a chair. This one does have to be a wall. So again, if you couldn't see before, my feet are now just about a foot away from the wall. So much closer. Probably a little bit closer together as well. Then I'm just going to reach up my arms nice and high, press my chest to the wall. And then when we're ready, I'm just going to sink down as far as I can go, keeping my chest on the wall. Okay, coming out of that one, we're just going to roll down and neutralise that stretch. So hanging onto your elbows, just let yourself hang. We can let them hang to the floor if you want to. Nice deep breathing. And then just soften your knees and let yourself come back up nice and slowly. Okay, so, what's that? Okay, so just to finish off with the back, now that it's nice and warm and stretchy, we're just going to try and do a bridge or a half bridge, depending on what you prefer. So I'll show you both. You can do whichever one, or you can do the half bridge and then go on to the full bridge. So the half bridge looks like this. So we're going to lie down on our mat or a towel, and then we're going to drive our hips upwards, and we're just going to try and shuffle our arms down towards our heels or ankles and see if you can grab them. And if you can, you really want to, or when you're as far as you can go, you really want to drive your hips up as much as you can. Really tense your bum cheeks, get your hips nice and high to try and get this nice curve in the spine. So that is the half bridge. So if you want to just keep working on that one, then do. Or if you are feeling bendy today, we can go into the full bridge. So the full bridge, we're going to have our fingers facing our shoulders. So our hand is going to come up and over like so. And again, leading from the hips. These plats are really annoying, sorry. Okay, so like so. Again, leading from the hips. So we're going to drive our hips up, but this time we're going to push in our arms. So we're going to push through our arms as well to get even higher. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, pushing with the hips and pushing up into a bridge or crab. Once we're up here, we want to think about getting our chest away. So we're pushing towards the direction we're looking in with our chest. So you really want to get your chest over your shoulders like that. And coming back down, we'll do 2 more of those, or you can leave it at that if you want to. I'm just going to do a couple more. If you want to have a little neutralise in between, then that's great. Okay, so again, nice sort of feet are just about hip width. Hands are coming over, driving from the hips and driving up into that bridge position. So, okay, and then trying to stretch your shoulders out. And coming back down. Oh. Okay, we'll just do 1 more of those, and then we're going to move on to our legs. So, frame. So, last one, pushing up, driving with the hips. Ideally, you want to try and stop your knees from coming in when you push up, but it can be a little bit of a cheat. I still do it a little bit, is sort of bring my knees in. Eventually, you want to try and keep them out as you're doing it, but if you find your knees coming in, it doesn't really matter. It's just something to work towards, is keeping your knees apart. But if when you're pushing, your knees are coming in together a little bit, that's okay. Okay, out. Right. Okay, right, we'll just do a nice deep neutralising stretch from that. So, legs over the head. You can support with your arms. You don't have to touch your feet to the floor, just as long as you're feeling that nice curvature of your spine. Okay, lovely. So, next we're going to move, that's the end of back now. So, if you just wanted to do back and shoulders, then you can go. Just do a few little cool down stretches if you are stopping now. So, child's pose, anything to neutralise your spine, or just skip to the end of the video because I'll do them at the end. Okay, so coming on to our legs. So we're just going to start sitting on our mat with our legs out in front like this. So we're just going to have a little flex and point of the toes. Make sure we're sitting up straight, not slouching back, so you can have your hands behind if you want to. Okay, and then keeping our toes flexed and thinking about pushing our knees into the back of the floor. We're going to inhale and reach up. And as we exhale, we're going to reach towards our toes, sort of almost reaching past them. And once we're as far as we can go, then we can drop our head. But we want to make sure that we're keeping our back nice and flat, so we're not kind of curling like this. That's why we want to think about reaching past the toes rather than straight to the toes, because then people do tend to curve. So, inhaling, reach up. Exhale, reach as far as you can. Once you're as far past your toes as you can get, or as far as wherever you can go, then you can just drop your head. But make sure that we're leading with our chest. Okay, to come back up, we're going to think about reaching back past our toes. So we're going to reach forwards to then come back up. Okay, now we're gonna point our toes. So same again, leading with the chest, trying to reach forwards rather than directly down, because that will stop us from arching so much. So trying to reach forwards, and then once you're as far forwards as you can go, you can drop your head. So inhale and reach up. Exhale. Okay, and then reaching forwards to come back up. Right, next we're going to lie down on our mat, and we're going to do just a little dynamic stretch to begin with, just to warm our legs back up. So lying down on the ground, we're going to kick our leg up for 10, and on the 10th one we're going to hold on to it and we're going to pull it towards us. If you can't grab your leg so easily, then just get like a towel or a scarf or a jumper or something, and you can use it to pull your leg towards you, like so. So you can use that if you prefer. What we're going to do once we're holding our leg is we want to think about pushing against our hand or the jumper, so we're pushing back the opposite way for 10 seconds, and then after 10 seconds we're going to bring it towards us and do the same again. Really push against, resist your hands, and then we're going to pull it back again. So we've done this as a partner stretch, but you can do it on your own as well. So kicking up for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold the leg and push. So I'm pushing in that direction with my leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm just going to try and bring my leg a little bit closer. I am going to use this because it's more comfy. So I'm pushing against it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then bring it in a bit closer. So last one, pushing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release the leg. Okay, so same again on the other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold the leg and push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it towards you. Use this and push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and pull it in a bit more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Well done. Grab a quick drink. Okay, so we're now going to come into a deep lunge. So we're going to do a bit of a lunge sequence. I know I kind of did this in my live video the other day, but I wasn't able to upload it, so I'll do it again so anyone that couldn't watch the live video can have a go. So, starting at the end of our mats, we're going to take a nice big step forward into a deep lunge. So we really want to make sure that our knee is directly over our heel. I say this all the time, but it's really important, because if not, if it's like this, you're putting pressure on your ankle, and if it's backwards, you're just not doing the stretch right. So coming into this position, and we're going to drive our hands up towards the ceiling and look up at them, keeping our foot tucked under at the back. So this is a good one for practicing balance as well, because it takes a lot to balance in this position. Okay, and then we're going to bring our palms together. We're going to bring the opposite hand to the front leg, over to that knee. The other elbow is going to stick up to the ceiling, and we're going to twist. And then bringing the same hand as the front leg down to the outside, we're going to reach up and open out that chest and look up at our hand. And bringing that hand back down, we're just going to now roll the front foot. So it's, at the minute it's flat, we're going to roll it out onto the side. So onto the sort of blade of the foot like this. So you'll feel this sort of in your glutes and the outside of your thigh. Okay, and then just drop the back knee, bring that foot back up. Again, coming back up here, we're going to, same hand as back leg, we're going to try and reach our calf, and then the other hand is going to reach back. So this is just a slightly deeper hip flexor stretch. And coming back to the front, if you can, come down onto your elbows to really sink into that stretch there. And then pushing back up, we're just going to come back into a hamstring stretch. So in this stretch, you want to make sure that, again, your hip is above your knee and that your hips are square. So by that, I mean that they are in a line this way. So I don't know if you can really see the difference, but if I'm here, so now my hips are square, but if I'm off to one side, you see they're sort of on an angle. So you want them to be straight across here. And then you're just going to lean down towards that toe, towards the leg. Okay, then we're going to tuck the back foot under, bring our hands back down, and we're going to push back up into a three-legged dog, pushing that leg up behind us and holding. And come back down into downward dog, and then step forward with the right foot into a lunge on the other side. So again, heel over, knee over heel, driving our hands up and looking up to the ceiling. And then bringing our hands together, twisting the front elbow to the outside of the front leg, other elbow sticking up towards the ceiling and twisting around. And then bringing the same hand as the front leg to the outside, opening up the chest the other way and looking up at our hand. Coming back down, drop the back knee, come up, we're going to find the leg with the same hand as the back leg, and the other one is going to lean back to get an even deeper hip flexor. Okay, then coming back down, we're going to come down onto our elbows in front of the front leg, or rather next to the front leg. And then we're going to come back up onto our hands and just roll that foot out to the side. I think I did it the other way around before. If you want to come back up onto your toe, you can, but it's the same if you stay with your knee down. Bring that foot back up, bring your hands back around to either side of the leg and push back, straightening that front leg into the hamstring stretch. Remembering what I said about the hips, so checking that they're square, which mine, it's kind of hard to tell, but there. Okay. Really think about pushing your knee down as well, so we're not sort of bending, we really want to lock your knee out. Okay, hands go down, tuck the back foot, push up into three-legged dog. And come back down onto your knees. Grab a quick drink. And I'm just going to check the time. Okay, so we're just going to finish off now with a bit of a hip opener, quick straddle. Yeah, a bit of a hip opening, sort of middle splits, leg stretch. So then we've done a little bit of everything. So starting off, I always start when I'm doing hip openers in this butterfly position, because it's a nice one just to kind of wake your hips up and say, hey, look, we're going to stretch. So give them a little bounce. So yeah, I always sit in this position, which I think is why I've got quite good hip flexibility, because it's quite a nice one just to chill in and bouncing your knees. It's quite nice. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to hold our toes underneath with our hands like this, so we can use that as a bit of leverage to pull ourselves down. We can use our elbows to push our knees a little bit as well. We're going to try and keep our chest forward, and we're just going to lean down towards our toes. If you prefer to have your hands out in front, that's absolutely fine, but you might notice that you're curving more than keeping your chest flat, whereas here you can really try and get your chest. You want to think about your chest going towards your toes rather than your face or your nose, because if you're going with your nose, you are going to curl your spine a bit. So try and think about getting your chest in that direction. Okay, coming back up. We're going to open our legs out now into a straddle position. If you find that you really can't even sit up straight in this position, which I didn't used to be able to, I used to really struggle to even sit straight, do it against a wall, because that will keep your back nice and straight. Also, what you want to do is just grab each of your bum cheeks, pull them out behind you so that you can sort of sit up a bit better. And yeah, if you really can't even sit like that, you can either put your hands behind to push, or yeah, if you stay against a wall, that will also help. Okay, so starting off, we're going to inhale and reach up, and then we're going to exhale and lean over to the side, keeping our chest forward, shoulders stacked one on top of the other, and both bum cheeks staying on the floor. So that's what this other hand is here to do, just to remind that bum, that hip to stay on the floor. Okay, and then we're just going to twist over so that we're now facing the knee and the leg, and stretch down that way. Again, making sure you're not lifting that bum cheek up, which I keeps happening. If you notice that happening, just come up a little bit. And then from here, just flex and point your toe. Okay, without coming up, we're going to sweep around to the other side. So we're going to draw a big circle across the floor in front of us and come around to the other side. And then just give that toe a flex and a point. And then we're just going to twist around so that we're getting this side stretch with our chest facing forward and our shoulders stacked one on top of the other. And coming back up to the middle. Okay, now we're going to go down forwards. Instead of walking our hands, we're actually going to put our hands up in the sky like this, because that's going to keep our chest forward rather than finding ourselves curling over. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lean forward, keeping our arms up in the air like this, which is actually quite hard. But it's good. So you can put your arms down on your legs if they're getting a bit achy, but just try and bring them up as much as you can. And once you're as low as you can go, just hold it there for a sec. And come back up. Well done. We'll do that one once more. Then we'll just do a couple more hip openers and then I'll cool you down. So, once again, inhaling. And then as we exhale, we just want to lean forward, pushing our chest forward. That's what having our arms up here is going to make sure that our chest is staying forward and not curling, which often happens when we have our hands on the floor. Make sure we're focusing on our breathing, so every exhale, just Just feel yourself sinking a little lower. And coming back up. Bring your legs in, you might need to lift them. Just give them a quick squeeze into your chest. Okay, so we're just... Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple of little nice gentle cool down stretches just to kind of release the spine and everything. So we're going to lie down on our mat, squeeze our knees tightly into the chest, and then placing both arms out to the side, we're going to just roll our knees from side to side. So just twisting your knees over and then back over to the other side. Keeping both shoulders on the floor. Okay, give them another little squeeze, come back up to sitting, and then straightening one leg out, we're going to cross our left leg over the right leg, which is straight, and then our right arm is going to come to the outside of the left leg, and we're going to twist around and away from that leg. So make sure that you're not doing this, which a lot of people get confused and do. You want the arm, the opposite arm to the bent leg, on the outside of that bent leg. And switching sides. Okay, coming back up to standing, we're going to interlock the fingers and we're going to push away. So we've got this curve in our spine. And then we're just going to turn them around and push up to the ceiling. Have a little curve backwards. And then coming back down, dropping the head, holding your elbows or just letting your hands hang, and just hanging. You can add a little bit of a bounce if you want to. Okay, coming back up. And we're done. Well done. Thanks, guys. See you in the next video.